Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. Unfortunate news out of the 2017 preseason as New England Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman tears his ACL and will miss the 2017 regular season. Man, this was a huge injury. And also Spencer Ware went down in yesterday's preseason action. And this is quite a loss for the New England Patriots, but they'll likely be fine. We're going to talk about a couple things today. The fantasy outlook for the Patriots now, their new wide receiver core without Julian Edelman, the impact on the team. We'll also look at some other preseason things, whether or not teams should play their players in the preseason. So let's start with the whole preseason thing first. So after this injury, I saw a bunch of people on Twitter saying, well, this is why teams shouldn't play their starters in the preseason. And it's nice to say that. Like, that's what college football does. College football, they don't have a preseason. They have spring training. They have spring games, but they don't have a preseason necessarily. Like, to me, look, if the coaches want to vest their players, that's fine, but you want to knock the rust off a bit. You don't want them to just start week one because there's only 16 games in the NFL season. Each game is very critical. You want to set out your starting units, you know, with a lot of chemistry going, with a lot of flow going, in good form when the season rolls along. I have no problems with teams playing their players. Now, obviously, you want to pull them out probably after a half, even in the third preseason game, but this Julian Edelman injury happened in the second quarter, so there's nothing they could do about that. It's an unfortunate injury for the New England Patriots, but they're going to be fine. Okay, last year Julian Edelman had a great year, over 1,100 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns, which isn't that high, but he was definitely an integral part of their football team, especially in the red zone, especially on third down as well. But look, this is the New England Patriots. They're headed by Tom Brady at the quarterback position. He's going to continue to move this football team down the field. Chris Hogan had a nice year for the Patriots last year. He's going to step up again this year. He may even end up being pretty fantasy relevant, so look out for him. Last year, the Patriots drafted Malcolm Mitchell, okay, in the 4th round. That guy had a nice rookie year, 401 receiving yards for a rookie. Now he's going to move up the depth chart. Maybe he makes an impact. Right now, he's nursing a knee injury. And then, of course, the big kicker, the Patriots traded for wide receiver Brandon Cooks last year. Okay, the former New Orleans Saint. This guy is going to come in and kill it. Okay, I think I had him scheduled for 1,200 receiving yards before this injury. After this injury, I'm thinking 1,300. It's going to be a huge year for Brandon Cooks. Man, I mean, this guy must be the happiest guy on the planet. Okay, he went from New Orleans, which wasn't bad. I mean, he had a good quarterback, but they weren't going to go to the playoffs, to now getting to play with Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time in my opinion. He's going to get a bunch of stats this year. He's going to get a huge contract, whether he stays with the Patriots or not. The Patriots may not want to pay him, but he can move on to greener pastures, monetarily speaking. It's going to be a huge year for Brandon Cooks. The Patriots are going to be fine. But the thing to look out, though, if he does get injured, Brandon Cooks, which we can't really assume, he has been injured in his NFL career. He did miss a couple of games his rookie year, but none since then we could have problems, okay, because although we do have Tom Brady and he's great, we have seen before, especially if his offensive line struggles, then he can dip in production a bit. The good thing for you, though, the Denver Broncos are nowhere near as powerful as they used to be, and that was the only team in the AFC that could beat you, right? So if Tom Brady's having a bad day, his wide receivers aren't helping him out, his offensive line isn't helping him out, the Broncos could beat you. But the Steelers, can they get it done? Can the Raiders get it done? Can the Chiefs get it done? Now, we don't really expect these teams to get it done, even on a bad Tom Brady day. So look out if Brandon Cooks gets injured, because Gronk, we can't rely upon him to stay healthy. That's just the truth. Perhaps this will be a 16-game season for Gronk. I'm looking out for that, but we can't rely upon that. So we could have a situation where Chris Hogan is our #1 receiving threat, which we don't love. But still, I think the Patriots will be fine because the AFC right now, even with a Tom Brady receiving core that's not that great, I don't think anyone can really challenge this team. Spoiler alert, I have them going to the Super Bowl. I probably have them winning. They're going to be fine despite this Julian Edelman injury. And fantasy-wise, I think Chris Hogan is now fantasy relevant. Again, last year, about 600 receiving yards for him, 4 touchdowns. Now I'm expecting 800-900 receiving yards for Chris Hogan, depending on how many games Rob Gronkowski plays, because Gronk will take away production most certainly. But I think Hogan's going to have a nice year because, again, this is Tom Brady, who is going to throw for over 4,200 passing yards, right? So you're going to get a lot of production here. Brandon Cooks is going to come down with 1,200-1,300, but there's still going to be another bunch of passing yards to go, 3,000 passing yards to be distributed throughout this New England Patriots receiving core that contains Danny Amendola, who will also get injured. I mean, let's just face it. So, hey, I like Chris Hogan now in fantasy. I love Brandon Cooks now. Gronk, I like a little bit more, but again, he just has to stay healthy, and we already loved Gronk anyway. I mean, his level of play wasn't going to increase too much because of this injury. And look out for Danny Amendola, but I still wouldn't trust him because you never really rely upon him to stay healthy. But again, Julian Edelman goes down. He tears his ACL. What do you guys think? Should Sardis play in the preseason? Comment down below. I want to know. Does this affect the New England Patriots? Me, I don't think so. I had them going 13-3 before this video, before the Julian Edelman injury. After the Julian Edelman injury, I saw them going 13-3. And by the way, this is why I don't like to project 14, 15, 16 wins. Injuries happen. Okay, it's always safer to me to go 13 than to go 14 or 15 because now I can see the Patriots losing 1 or 2 or 3 games like I predicted before the season. Until next time, I'm out. See you all later.